Would you believe me if I told you that you can root any branch using just a plastic bag like this one? It might sound crazy, but this technique creates an improvised greenhouse that's so effective that any branch, even the most difficult ones, will root quickly. I'm going to show you this amazing result before I teach you the step-by-step process. What I'm about to show you, I did about 60 days ago, and now we're going to see this incredible result together. Who hasn't tried to root a plant and ended up losing the branch? I've even lost rare cuttings myself because I didn't know how to control the humidity. The problem is always the same. The cutting dries out too quickly or rots due to lack of oxygenation. It's frustrating to invest time and see everything die, but when you create a controlled microclimate like the one we're about to show you, your chances of success increase dramatically. And just look at this amazing result. In fact, we even have a plant here that's flowering while rooting. We can already start to see the roots here. Look, see? It's really great for rooting. I'll show you what happens in about 60 days with this little greenhouse here. Just look at the root sprouting. It's a good thing the root is still small, otherwise someone might even say that it didn't root here, that this plant was already planted and rooted. But look, brand new roots, a vigorous plant well moistened. In fact, we even have this Ixora blooming here inside the greenhouse. However, right now I'm going to show you how you can also do this with any healthy branch that you might have at home if you want to propagate your plant. First, snip off a healthy branch from the plant you want to root. Always choose a healthy branch with no signs of pests. The plant itself also needs to be healthy, and your success rate will be much higher if you choose a branch that is already starting to become woody. Don't use branches that are too young, nor ones that are too old. With this, rooting will be perfect and you'll hardly lose your cutting. Now, in a pot with drainage holes, you're going to add a planting substrate. The substrate needs to be a quality substrate, okay folks? It improves rooting. If you use soil that turns into clumps, rooting tends to be slower and you might even lose some branches. Prior to actually planting my branch, we're going to remove the surplus foliage so it doesn't expend unnecessary energy during rooting. I cut the branch a little longer because here we're going to try 2 cuttings. I'll always leave a few leaves at the tip of the branch, trimming off the excess leaves here so it knows there's still life, still vegetation on it. Here we have our first branch. I'll also clean up this little cutting here, see, and trim some of the leaves so there isn't too much energy or too many nutrients going to the leaves. I want all the energy from this plant to go into rooting the branches. Now I can simply bury it. The size of the branch, folks, is about 10 centimeters. You don't need more than that. I'm going to put it into the soil about 2 to 3 centimeters deep. You don't need to bury it too much either, just enough for the branch to stay nice and firm. So this is how our branches will look in the pot where we're going to plant them. And now we're going to work on the greenhouse effect. Before making our greenhouse, I need to make sure there's moisture in the soil. We're going to water this plant, our substrate, really well until the water drains out through the holes at the bottom. This first watering needs to ensure hydration for all of the substrate. See? It's already starting to drain down there. We're going to make sure there's moisture throughout all the soil. For those who are wondering, the branch we're planting is from a fruit tree, the purple guava, which we're going to root in our lesson because here we already know this works very well and science has also proven it. Here we have our substrate nice and moist. Now we're going to put the bag on to create the greenhouse effect. It's absolutely crucial. You shouldn't overlook the fact that the bag must not have any air leaks. It should only have the opening at the top and no other holes. It needs to be completely sealed, otherwise this won't work. Otherwise you won't be able to root the branch. So we're going to put our container with the already planted branch inside this bag. Why can't you leave the branch too long then? Because otherwise you'll need a very large bag to cover and seal it at the top. Look how it works. We're going to pull this bag over here. Let's make sure our little pot is right in the center here. And we're not going to close our bag just yet. What we're going to do before closing it is this. So this is how our greenhouse looks. The plant is already inside and the bag is in place. Before closing this bag, I'm going to use a spray bottle to increase the humidity inside the bag. The wind is making things a bit difficult here, but it'll work out. Look, we're going to spray the sides of the bag, increasing the humidity inside. Don't overdo it, it's just to create some humidity. And now I'm going to completely close my bag. I'm going to seal up all of these open ends here and wrap the plastic around several times to make sure the air inside the bag doesn't escape because that's where our humidity is. I'm using a long piece of string to tie up this bag securely. The air can't leak out. I'm going to tie a really tight knot so it doesn't come loose. It needs to be pulled really tight like this, see, really strong. I tied a knot. I'm going to tie another knot to make sure it doesn't come undone because if the air escapes from inside, our greenhouse won't work. All done. Now we have our greenhouse ready. I'm going to show you how to take care of this greenhouse. You don't need to water it again. You've already watered it the first time. and now the greenhouse effect will take place. But pay attention. Don't just put it in the sun and forget it. Place this mini greenhouse in a spot with plenty of indirect light. Never under strong sunlight because it could cook the branch. And another very important point is, never soak the substrate too much before bringing it into the greenhouse. Always let the excess water drain off because the humidity will be maintained naturally. If you see fungus appear in the bag, remove it and repeat the process. Fungus usually appears if the place where we keep our mini greenhouse is too dark. In just a few weeks, you may notice roots coming out at the base and even new shoots on your plants. The result is impressive because even branches that are hard to root will take with this technique. This is one of those tips that seems simple but makes all the difference for people who want to grow plants and keep losing branches all the time. Ideally, after 60 to 90 days, you should remove the bag and start taking care of your plant, beginning the hardening off process, which means gradually increasing the amount of light your plant receives and continuing to water it as you would with any cutting you're trying to root, because by this point it will already have healthy roots. My mission is to bring you tested and validated information so you can apply it at home and get results with your plants. And your mission is to evaluate our work and help us keep this project going. So leave your rating for today's content in the comments from 0 to 10. If you liked it, give us a 10. If you didn't like it that much, you can give any score down to 0. It doesn't matter what the score is. What's important is that you rate us. And of course, if you want more content like this, just subscribe to the channel and especially turn on the notification bell, because that's the only way you'll keep receiving our content whenever there's something new, every day here on our channel. Share this video with your friends who love plants. It could be the key for them to keep propagating plants at home. And if you support our work of bringing free content to everyone here on our channel, just go to the description and become a member of the N Planters channel. The link is right below. It's very simple and easy. Just click. I'll leave a suggested video here on the side so you can binge watch our channel and learn more tips like this one. So we'll see you in the next video. Big kiss to your heart. See you in the next video. And bye. I'm out.